my cousin Mark Reed that owns a club downtown Birmingham called Chasers. So that's Mark Reed, guy behind the bar. So he's my first cousin, and his sister Bet. So we was growing up, everybody had a dog back then. Nobody really had a cat, everybody had a dog. Well, they had a deer. Black folks with it, they had a baby deer that grew up with us, and the deer name was Ant. I got a picture of my grandmother with the deer, like real talk. And so we would catch the bus, and back then we would catch the city bus to go to school. They didn't have the yellow school buses, they used city buses for school buses. And we was on the exact same bus as your dad. They used to catch the bus with us. They had the bus that rolls apart. That same model bus was the bus that we rode to school or whatever. So somehow, I think it was going to school. The deer followed Mark Vet to school and walked in the classroom. Followed her down the hall into the classroom. Whole chaos going on at school because the deer was in the school. And I think my Uncle Jesse had to come to the school and figure out how to get the deer back home. But the deer would get lost, like go away for like a month or two, and then all of a sudden appear back in the neighborhood. Well, we grew up with a damn deer that didn't bother nobody. But we out there playing football and basketball. You got a deer on the basketball court named Ant, A-N-T, short for Anthony. True story. If you think I'm lying, you can go to Yvette Reed on Facebook, cause that's my cousin, and it was their deer. And we thought the deer was gonna grow up because Uncle Jesse used to kill deers and eat deer meat. But I don't think they ever killed Ant because they got attached to the animal. So we grew up with dogs and the deer. The deer would play with the dogs. And whenever the dogs were around, you always saw Ant. It was always a bunch of dogs and a deer. The deer would come and hang out in our yard. So my grandmother, who's deceased, has a picture with Ant. So I grew up with a deer named Ant, short for Anthony.
That's funny.